Salutations! My name is Sean Uslanian. I am the project lead and lead level designer of our group, the Exhausted Exploding Emus, and our project, The World's Last Page. I also had a very minor role in programming, animating sprite sheets, and the initial concept for our story. My thought process when designing levels was to mix linear progression with non-linear progression with varying levels and areas, as well as mixing platform-intensive areas with calmer story-driven areas and levels.
Hello, my name is Ollie, and I am the character designer as well as the audio tech for this game. My first step in doing the character design was looking at different tutorials and character sheets as references, then applying it to the character for the game. One thing I learned is that you can never have too many references. I also looked for royalty-free music and sound effects for each of the levels, making sure they fit in the environment we were setting up.
Hello, my name is Kristy, and I am one of the world's last page artists. I am responsible for creating the environmental assets such as the buildings, background objects, and obstacles the player must interact. I am also the designer of the player's scepter that plays an integral part in the game's story. When creating an asset, I always look at reference photos from real life or an equivalent in other games to use their basic shape and color palette as inspiration for the asset's basis.
Hello, I am John Pierson, and I was in charge of programming for this game, as well as a few art assets. For programming-wise, I mainly focused on character asset, so shooting script, movement script, camera follow script. I also did a couple backgrounds for the game, as well as a few off assets, and the thought process behind this is because this game is a platformer by heart, I had to make sure that the character script would work 100% of the time, all the time. So that was a fun challenge to figure out. And for the shooting, I basically went through a couple different tutorials to figure out how Unity figures out what raycasting is and finds its mouse on the relative plane, because it's a 2D, so I don't have to worry about the Z-axis. And after that, we just made a quick mock-up in a playthrough setting, and after a bunch of trial and errors and one or three iterations, we were able to come up with a way to implement it, not only so that wherever the staff points you shoot, but wherever the cursor on the screen is will kind of show you exactly where it's going to go. After that, I also did a couple of the object interactions, so anything that the spawned bullet hit and activated, I was in charge of mostly.
Hello, I'm Damian, and I was a coder and artist for our game. I coded the enemies, UI, game manager, and some of the interactable objects. My thought process when coding was to make it so that it was easy for the level designer to be able to customize what anything did to their specific needs, such as how much health an enemy has. For art, I did most of the UI art, I did the cutscene art, and the cover art. My thought process was to make art that resembled a more storybook kind of look.
My name is Vasu, and I am story lead and art lead for this game. I have created the tile sets, some of the backgrounds, and the assets that you find inside the levels. Some of the major challenges I faced inside the game was actually all the art in itself. I am not specifically an artist, but this was my first time working with 2D pixel art, as well as making the tile sets, so that took a while. And my greatest achievement would be the fountains, as they are each unique to their level and in GIF format, so that they can really bring some life into the levels.